Welcome back to Down with the Get Down. I am your co-host Romel.
And your boy Derek.
What's good? What's good, G? So we're doing another audio session for you guys. So on the screen, you should probably see some gameplay.
We don't know what game yet, but
we don't know what game it is, but just know Derek getting his butt beat.
Ugh, lies. If it's a fighting game, you getting fucked up.
He already talking shit. We ain't even.
Y'all saw the Street Fighter.
Hey, they seen halfway. Who the what's the thumbnail right now for a change? Have y'all seen
how you living, bro?
Bro, man, I had a fucking headache. Woke up this morning, I was like, "What the heck is happening?" I was like, I got hit by a truck. I was supposed to go to a birthday party and everything, and I had to cancel. I was like, "It's not happening." Bro, I need to get this headache before we start recording. Y'all gonna hear some deadness. You gonna be like, "Romeo, how you doing?"
You got a headache. My stomach's messed up. We just going through it.
There's a whole lot of. It's too much. I'm about to say everything been good over there in the city.
Yeah, for the most part. I'm not gonna tell them because that's too much information. So all I say to you is I won my case.
Okay.
Because you already know.
You didn't have to do the race.
Right. Because you already know. Certified unofficial lawyer.
I represent myself. You were the better version of that one dude in the court. Trying to represent us.
That dude murdered people.
He was a murderer. Man. But shit, I was about to say we got a good one going on for you guys. This one, you go ahead and kick it off with let's see. So we weren't even gonna cover this one at first. This just came up literally like yesterday.
Right.
With the Kai Cenat situation and the AMP it was Kai, Agent, and Duke got arrested at the giveaway that they were had. It was an AMP. Kai Cenat was doing a giveaway down in was it New York. Forgot which area. I knew it was in New York.
Downtown
New York.
Yeah.
So they were
because they were traveling. Like all the people were like walking. So I think it moved from downtown New York to like other parts because they were all like in the street. Which I feel like if he was going to do that, he should have did that at like that big park in New York. Because at least then people
Central Park.
Yeah, they should do it like Central Park because at least then it wouldn't be like shutting down traffic as much.
Facts. And traffic already bad in New York from what they say anyway. So I was like, it got real backed up. And they got arrested. Well, it seems like for incitement of a riot.
Something without a permit because they weren't permitted to.
Had to let the city know. That's what the guy was saying when he was addressing the charges on Kai. He was like, "You got to let the city know something like that's gonna happen."
And I think like something else, but most of it kind of comes from like motherfuckers were like destroying stuff. They were throwing like construction equipment, paint, rocks. They were throwing stuff at police. They trampled a woman, and we don't know if she's okay. There are people having panic attacks and anxiety attacks and all this stuff. People can't breathe. And it was crazy, man. I wish I was there.
I was there. Just said so I could be the one. Nah, you've been one of the niggas in there finger popping the girl asshole that was on top of the light.
No, she looked like she stinked, bro.
Bro, they were literally taking turns.
That was so weird, bro.
I was like, these are streamers, bro. I'm just that just kind of makes me wonder. Like, I don't know if it was a tip, but no, this kind of came from my head watching it, just looking at them like it's not this deep. What are y'all doing? It's like people just come outside for an excuse just to fuck shit up.
I mean, that and part of it too is like you're getting free shit.
And and that's the part I'm like, okay, cool. You're gonna free shit. I understand that, which I will be like, okay, that was a little one of the managers should have been looking out in that situation and be like, y'all finna give away stuff out in the middle of New York. That might not be a good idea.
Yeah, I mean it's that, and then like you already know, like it's New York, so like they don't know how to act. Let's be honest, they got giant rats. They don't know how to act.
They getting sturdy on top
Right
of each other.
on top of a cop car. So
Bro, they said it
it's
was a SUV. People falling off an SUV because they were on top of it while I was driving.
yeah, and there was they were pushing an SUV backwards. Like all these people were surrounding it, and they don't know if they forced their way into it or not because there are people like coming out the sunroof and everything, and they were like pushing it back, and you could see the brakes were on. They were all pushing the
That
SUV back.
was wild, bro. That's
I'm not.
wild.
I'm not gonna lie. If I'm in my car and people are doing that stuff and like they start pushing my car backwards, I guess I've got to roll my car forward
Well, somebody got to die.
because I'm. That's a scary situation to be in as a normal
Mhm.
person. Like if there's nobody in it, then fine, whatever. But like if you're inside of your car and you don't know these people and they're breaking into your car and they're pushing your car back and all this other stuff, like that's nah.
That'd be the first time you might see fear in somebody. Like you start fearing a person.
Mm.
You look to your left and your right, and people are shaking your car, and seeing a car tip over and being in the car while it's tipped over. You know how pissed off you did.
I'll
You
be
know,
damned.
because you're looking at the people doing this shit, and you're
And they, you're like right before it tips over, the person that's at the head of your car is looking you in your eyes, and they tip your car over. And as you're to the side, you just see them all walk past you to another car. You
and the
gotta,
crack.
and you can't even run the fake because they'll jump you.
You can't. And I feel bad for the AMP boys because it's like at that point it's kind of like it's not technically your fault, but they're like, but you low key got to eat that because of the situation. It's a live and learn situation. I just hope that it doesn't like progress. Like for them to like look at them like they bad people, I would say don't do that. Like don't look at like these folks real deal. You see the videos of Kai, that's been controversial of him calming down one of his fans that was having an anxiety attack. Was having like she was having an asthma attack or anxiety attack. He was trying to help her
No,
breathe.
she got like so excited that she ended up like having, I think, an anxiety attack and not being able to like breathe or something like that. And
Mm-hmm.
he's helping, and it's so crazy to me that people are upset over that. Y'all are weird.
Bro, they were looking. They were like,
They were like,
"This
if he
wouldn't have
was,
happened."
yeah, this wouldn't happen if he wasn't there. That's stupid.
Duh, the fuck, we know that. Like, we know the obvious, but at the same time, it's like, are you gonna state the obvious? Are you gonna actually be like, damn? You look at the look. This is still a young Kai is young as hell.
Yeah, he's 21.
Yeah, you gotta look at it. This is a young dude who is obviously he carries himself like he can't do everything perfect. And we have to look at that situation where you can see the panic on his face. You can see that he was even like, this is a lot. This is I didn't realize it was gonna be as big as it was. This is cool that people want to support, but like y'all niggas is wilding. Like how he would say it. That how he would say like y'all niggas is wilding. Y'all need to go home, be safe because what you're doing is creating something bigger. And now it's falling back on him and his team. And now it's like, all right, where do we go from here?
Yeah, and to me too is like obviously they have some responsibility
Mhm.
because they should have gotten a permit and set it up in a way to where it was controlled. But at the same time, with it becoming a riot, it's not something you can control because people don't blame like sports teams when people start rioting after like a win. You know,
Mm-hmm.
people don't what's his name? Travis Scott. He didn't get charged with like anything when the thing happened at what it was called when
Was
like all
it?
those people got hurt.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. It wasn't Rolling Loud. Was it? It was a different. It was his. It was Astro World.
Mm-mm. Yeah, yeah. People
Astro World. Yeah.
like people got hurt, and that was an unforeseen, like unfortunate thing. But like he didn't get charged or go to jail for that or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you hold some responsibility, but getting charged or going to jail or any of that, like that's not on you as a person.
Nah, that's why I was like, when y'all are taking it this far, it's like we know what happened.
Mm.
It's like now how do we encourage these young men and help them out and be like, hey, like this is an unfortunate situation, and it's like, yeah, they can choose. I wonder what the statements are gonna be. Because we saw the video after Kai got out of jail, he just immediately got into the car, didn't answer any questions. They were like,
Yeah,
nah, I'm pretty. They were like, his lawyers probably told his ass, do not say shit.
bro, it looked like his security guard pushed him in the
Oh,
car.
me, like they shoved him in the car. I was like, damn, manhandling this dude.
But it looks that way too because he's little, so like
Mm-hmm.
it's just like he just pushed him in the car. He's like, get in there. But nah, I
Bro, how
mean,
they picked him up over the crowd looked crazy.
oh yeah, yeah. But it's just odd. Like, and I understand like this can happen to like anybody of any status, right? Because
Right.
like because for instance, the thing with Mr. Beast, right?
Mm-hmm.
When he was going to pay for everybody's food at that one store, and they ended up like raiding the whole place and destroying everything and taking everything and all that stuff. Like that's one part of it is on him, but at the same time, it's not because he didn't say he was gonna do it. He said he was thinking about doing it, and it was somebody else's fault for putting
Mm-hmm.
that out there. But neither of those people got charged for anything, even though people riot and stuff like that. So like when people hear something that's free, it gives other people an excuse to like destroy shit.
Yeah. It
So
was, what did they say? They said that AMP needs to realize how big they actually are. And I didn't even take into account how big AMP actually was. Like giving away free stuff already brings up like a lot of people anyway. But like that can be half of, we can like, oh, like that's something that we all, like you said, we can recognize that and know that like giving away free shit does bring in stupidity.
yeah,
And also recognizing that these dudes might need to realize that they're a little bit bigger than what they are, and they need to be careful because anything could have gone out. I seen them like kicking it. I seen Phantom in the crowd with the people and stuff, and I'm like, I'm glad nothing. I ain't glad nobody just shanked this dude.
that is true. Yeah,
I'm like, y'all are real close to these people, and you don't know any of them. And I appreciate it's good. It's one thing to like hug your fans and be with your fans and stuff like that, but then being in a crowd with people that may be looking out for you as your fans and people who don't have your best interest at heart.
yeah, because I mean, a lot of people that do meet and greets and stuff like because like they did have security, but they were also spread out too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you can't have a lot of security for how everybody is just spread out, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, part of it is like they're from there, and those are those people that
Mm-hmm.
they're familiar with. But statistically, most rappers that die in their own home, like die in their home city. So like famous people die in their home city like all the time, regardless of if people there love you. There's somebody that don't. So sometimes it's safer to be in places where like it's not your hometown,
Which
you
is
know.
crazy. Like you gotta move out your city. Like what like trailing to Young Dolph. He died in front of a donut shop in his city.
Mhm.
It's like you can't. That's why it's understandable why a lot of these like social media influencers or artists or who ends up blowing up, getting a lot of clout, getting a lot of fame and money and wealth and stuff like that, move out of their hometown.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like
like
they really, yeah.
it's not like safe that much anyway. Because the other thing too is like so many people have more access to finding out where you are,
Yeah, that's true.
which is why when we make it, I'm not going to be here. I'm not be here. I'm leaving.
Might not even be in Tennessee, bitch. I'm not even
Uh,
gonna go be out state.
damn near want to be in Texas, even though Texas is hot, but
You
Texas
know,
has a
I
really
wouldn't
good
mind being
cost
in
of
Texas.
living. They have
Yeah.
really good cost of living, and it's a beautiful place. It's just hot, and that's the only thing that I hate.
Might you start looking for some jobs out there.
Well,
Yeah.
shit. After we make it the way that we want to, we won't need to look for a job. Honestly,
That's facts.
this will be the job, so we straight.
There you go. Speaking into existence. But yeah, it's super sad that you have to like you got low key think about your family as well in those situations because depending on how big you get, then people be like, shit, I know where his mama stay. You better
That
not
is,
go.
oh no, but that is something too. It's also very unfortunate that like you have to, when you get to a certain status or whatever, people
Hmm.
expect you to not only hold yourself accountable but other people accountable,
Hmm.
which is such a weird concept because you're like, well, I'm doing what I need to do, and these people aren't. Why aren't you holding them accountable? It's because they're doing this because you're here. Okay. Like you can't put that on another person, and that's just weird to
Yeah,
me. But I get it because none of those people would be there if it wasn't for Kai. But it's
yeah.
still not his fault that those people decided to do what they were doing because they're fucking adults. Well, some of them.
Like you're expecting a 21-year-old who this like in his defense, this might be his first time. It might not be his first time having a meet and greet event, but to this a caliber.
Yeah, because I think I don't know if he's done some before he was big, but it wasn't like super like meet and greet type thing. It was like them being on the streets with people in New York and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's already like there were already a whole bunch of people there anyway, so they weren't there for A and B. Like they were
Mm-hmm.
just there in general. Um, but and then the other stuff is like in a controlled environment like DreamCon, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those kind of things. And I feel like if you're going to be because Kai, he has like 5 or 6 million followers. So if you're gonna be at that like certain status, I wouldn't say do a meet and greet outside. Have
Mm-hmm.
a Try to find a venue or something like that, like a building that you can do something like that at.
Yeah, rent out a space or something like that.
Mm.
Yeah, that's why I was like, even like the people that are like, oh, he should do should this and so and so. Um, I want you to the same people that tell them that. I want you to think about how old are you right now? Because I'm 25. We're 25.
Mm.
Nobody would think about shit like that. Like, no, you're not gonna think about that all the time because if that's something that you're, oh, this I just want to see the people. You're not thinking about those things. They're like they have other people thinking about that. He's worried about trying to just do the content, do all those things. That's what his management is supposed to be over, technically.
Yeah, I mean
And they
he's
didn't
the
do that.
yeah, he's the funny nigga. He's not the planet shit,
Mm-hmm.
like that's your job to plan things out so that everything is safe for everybody. And his job is to be entertaining and be there for the people.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't do that, then and that's the unfortunate thing too, because
Mm-hmm.
like he and this happens for all famous people, but if something goes wrong and it's your team's fault, it's automatically just your fault and not your team
Because
because
he's
you're
the
the
head.
face. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you're the face of it all. And so since you're the face of it all, that means you also get all the brunt of the criticism and stuff like that. And that's shitty.
Which is crazy because this dude took on. So if we think about it, how much responsibility has Kai Cenat taken on since he has been with AMP? Because he went from being like the little streamer that he was at his house to being the face of that household, continuing to have content come in, and he's working with all these different personalities that he's being, and they're still holding. They hold him more accountable than they hold anybody else. Anytime someone go crazy, the first person's name you're gonna hear is the youngest dude in the household.
Absolutely. Like, and because like when that one thing came out with the assault allegation
Mm-hmm.
of that one person that was at one of their parties, everybody was like, it's Kai's fault.
I was like, why are they blaming the nigga that can't drink yet? I was like, this is the youngest person in the household, and y'all are like looking at him like he got to be the most responsible, but he carries himself respectably. So that's I understand where people why he gets it, but then you got to take it back and be like, are we for real now?
Yeah, I mean, but it's always just one of those things too. Like everybody wants to have somebody to blame,
That's true. Mm-hmm.
and he, because of his status, is the fall guy. So he got to deal with that, and that comes with the status. And
He
it's
don't know when I take it for real. Everybody else be like, I don't want that, but I can't see Duke being somebody saying he like I feel like his ass would get pissed real quick.
Oh, Duke would try to fight somebody.
Dude would be ready to fight. Agent
Hey,
would have made a video trying to make folks feel dumb.
I'm not gonna lie. Saying that is also really funny because Duke was the only one in handcuffs.
Bro, he was smiling.
I know, nigga's crazy.
Bro, he was shaking his man was shaking the lock, shaking the dread, man was now. I was like, I was like, he brought his inner nigga out. This is not a man who served our country. This is a nigga street.
Bro,
He brought out street dude.
when I saw them when they were getting arrested,
Well,
they had Kai. They were talking to Kai and walking him. Agent was talking to them and everything. They had Duke in handcuffs. Bro was happy. I was like, oh god. And then you had fucking Phantom Eden. They never caught Phantom. That was hilarious.
Phantom ass was turning up with the people.
He was taxing, bro.
That boy was in that going crazy.
So I mean, that was hilarious to me. But I mean, at the same time, it was like I thought it was dumb, but it was also funny. And part of it too, part of them getting arrested was also for their safety as well, because it started to become something that like they weren't expecting it to become, and they could also get hurt as well. And so that's what like the police chief was saying. Like it was not just for everything that was going on, but it was also their safety as well, because their safety was also at risk because people are rioting and destroying things. So
getting aggressive.
What how good are we on time?
We started around 2:18, 2:13, 2:18 around that time. So we have another like 10 minutes.
You want to wrap it up, or we good, or what? Because the only thing the only following thing I gotta say is when you get to a certain status, there are more things you have to think about other than yourself, and the people that you like, because your fans are going to show up, but you also have to consider their safety as well. And so you have to make things that are safe for them, but also have a good team that, like, when they bring something up to you, also be able to ask them questions and don't just rely on what they're saying. Because they're like, oh, we got this, we're gonna be here and do these things. So like, okay, so do we got like a permit? Do we got safety precautions? Do we got all this and this and this? And obviously it's something that you gotta know beforehand, but at least with this situation, it's something that Kai and AMP will think about in the future.
This also is an interesting what just kind of hit me. You got to focus with them as far as their audience. It's a good thing that none of them got hurt. But then also like those people who are out there going crazy, I wonder how this is how you're gonna you may have to address your audience a different way. Because when you are having people come to DreamCon in situations like that, that's a very niche audience that branches out, and I feel like they may have all their people kind of like, that nothing bad might happen. Like if things go down, you're in a good place, you're around good people. You don't feel as like that. I wonder, does AMP have a crowd that's of similar caliber? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I don't know, because New York people are, I don't know, bro. They're a different breed of something.
Because he's like they getting paid and they doing their thing, but then it's also thinking like, do you have a audience that's gonna fuck with you for like till the end?
I feel like they do.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they do, because like given like that whole allegation thing, like people that know that something isn't your fault, like even though a whole bunch of people are trying to blame you, there are people that were riding with them regardless, and it was the majority of their fans riding with them. So I feel like they have a good set of fans that are actual fans. I think it's one of those things where it's like a whole bunch of people get together and then you have people that take advantage of the situation. And I feel like their fans know that behavior is deplorable, but there's so many other people that are like, oh, I'm just going to take advantage of this thing and do this, because like the person that Kai is, and Agent and Duke, like and Phantom, but like they don't seem like the person that would condone people hurting other people for no reason other than just because, you know?
Yeah. It's like they don't give out that impression. They know they not on some they not on no Cardi. They not on Playboy Cardi shit to be on
Yeah.
some yeah, I'm in the mosh pit.
Yeah, no, they don't seem like they're that kind of, and also like um they're at a status too where like even if they were like that, it wouldn't be
Mhm.
good for their brand, you know?
That's facts. That's facts. So yeah. Yeah. It's a learning experience. I think a lot of people can take a lot of take backs, especially if you're a content creator. You can look back at that situation, especially if that's where you want to be in life. You're like,
Mm,
okay, I want to have the stat, I want to be of the caliber that they are. Look at the situation and kind of learn from it and be like, okay, if I ever want to do something like this, proper preparation.
right, yeah.
You need to plan. You need to
You need to
plan
plan
accordingly.
because you need to plan, you need to pick a better spot and make sure that what you're doing is safe for everybody. Because look at Mr. Beast. No matter how many people show up for Mr. Beast stuff, when he actually organizes something, it's always fairly safe because
Yep.
he makes sure that like precautions are made. But Kai is young and he'll learn from this and do better next time, is what I feel.
Yep. Oh, and then the other thing is if you get to that level that they're at, then you might need to check in with the city before you do things.
Well,
Because
check in with the
yeah.
city. Check in with the city for anything like that. Anyways, a large gathering of people. You should
Mhm.
probably check in with the city.
No,
Just be
I was talking about if you don't know how big you think the turnout is going to be. Like if it's going to be, because that was probably bigger than what they thought was going to be. Because there's always a lot of people in New York being in that area, but that was like five times what they're probably used to. They're like, oh, we thought it was gonna be like couple maybe like couple thousand people, whatever.
I think at max they probably thought it was going to be like a few hundred to 1,000, not thousands and thousands of people. So yeah, definitely. If you know that your follower count is past 1 million and you're trying to do something like that, you should probably check in with the police.
Yes, they needed a police escort.
They need a police escort and they need a lot of security. Um, but and part of that too is like people don't want to pay for that because part of that you do have to pay for. So that's one thing. But you can't cut corners when it comes to something like this because you cutting corners with something like this can make you lose more money than it might have been to do everything the right way.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Other than that, oh yeah, really.
yeah, I'm pretty good on my end. Oh well, y'all pray for the AMP boys. Hopefully they get out.
Well,
Get out.
they're out
Well, I'm
already.
not yeah, they
Hopefully,
out. But I was talking about the charges and stuff.
oh yeah, hopefully they don't get charged for anything. If anything, the only thing I think they should be charged for is operating without like a permit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that in itself is not jail time, it's a fine. So I think that and if they're charged with anything, I think a fine is probably the best thing, but no jail time or anything like that.
Yeah, I respect the fine. Well, it's not about what I respect, but
Well, yeah.
but they
It
don't
just
care.
makes sense.
Yeah, it would make that would make sense the most sense, and then they'll still put the message across. Don't do that shit again,
Yeah.
and then
So
or it will be bigger consequences.
you will
But
be in prison.
yeah, and hopefully the people that were out there, because I heard about people getting groped up, getting shit stolen, uh,
Trampled.
trampled. I don't know. I hope nobody died, but I did see something about something like that.
The woman that got trampled, they don't know if she's gonna live or not because she got trampled pretty bad. But I think that was the only one really.
And it's also, I guess, a thing for the people. Quit choosing these moments to do stupid stuff. People just trying to have a good time. We can't have good times if every time we like our people try to come give back to us, and now we want to do stuff like this.
Oh yeah, because if they never do anything like this again because of y'all, y'all are gonna be mad.
Facts. We can't have good. They can't have nothing nice. They're gonna security up. You can't even touch these folks no more. No, ain't no handshakes.
Right. Ain't gonna be no meet and
None of
greets,
that.
no giveaways, no none of that. And that's gonna be all y'all's fault.
And if that happens after this, I wouldn't blame them.
Oh,
I would
absolutely.
not blame them. I'd be like,
It
no,
would be
never
perfectly,
again.
it'd be because like any other normal person would probably be like, I'm never doing that again. You
I
know?
get him. I'll say he even had the right to scold y'all niggas right out as soon as he get on hop back on the stream.
As soon as he is legally able to speak about everything, he can
Mm-hmm.
talk as much shit as he wants to.
Like I ain't never doing shit for you, fucking broke ass. Can't give shit to y'all no more.
playing the Uncle Rucky's music in the background and everything.
That shit crazy. But hey, we appreciate y'all coming through another installment of Down with the Get Down. Whatever listening platforms you guys are on, rate us 5 stars on that. We really appreciate it. Help us move up the algorithm. If you guys are watching the visuals, comment on what game y'all trying to see next. If y'all have any suggestions, hope I don't know what it's gonna be looking like, but we're gonna be whooping each other asses on on whatever it is.
We'll
So
figure it out.
y'all comment if y'all want to see us play with certain characters too. So we can probably do something like that on one of them when we're doing segments like that.